Hi guys, it's Bill. So, you know, everything in the world evolves. It starts out really simple. So when I was young and couldn't afford a whole lot, we used to make nachos. And the way I did it was, you just got some chips, and they didn't care how broken they were. You got the cheap, generic chips, because generic had just kind of started to be a thing when I was living out in Denver. And you quick grated some cheese over it and threw it in the microwave, and that was nachos. I was like, well, okay, it's cheap and it fills you up. I just want to show you a way to make kind of just a little small plate of nachos when you just got that little hunger thing going. I mean, like when I'm doing all this cooking, I get that hunger thing too. So I don't use a lot of ground beef, but I do for some recipes, and if I'm making burgers on the grill, and if I have a little too much, which I usually ask for, it goes in the freezer. So I've always got these little balls of ground beef, and I thought this would be really interesting to try because this is actually a really lean ground sirloin. I got 3 ounces of it, and basically I just want to get this cooking. And I lots of times I'll do it just with refried beans, or sometimes I'll just use some grilled chicken that I have in the freezer. You can use whatever you want. I just want to get this roasting up here. And this is like nachos for 1 1/2 or one really hungry person. Alright. Really does not take long. You just kind of want to break it up. Get it broken up as much as I can, and then I'm going to kind of let it sit in here to cook through. So what I got now is we're going to add a little flavor, because I'm going to put some refried beans in here, but neither the refried beans nor this ground beef are going to have a whole lot of flavor. So I have 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now you got some flavor happening there. Well, so I mentioned about refried beans. So I got my little can of beans here, and I just want to put enough in to kind of do like a 50-50 thing. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. I don't know, somehow with all this goings on, I have a hard time finding refried beans some days. So I don't think brand really matters. I do like the Bushes. I don't know, I think it just has a better consistency of the beans. I used to make my own refried beans all the time because they didn't sell them in the store where I lived. And so I realized you could buy refried beans for like cheap. I was like, I think even today they're not much more than $1 a can on sale. So kind of, you know, the problem with ground beef is it just wants to roll off the tortilla shells. So kind of what I'm doing here is making a mixture so you can keep it all together. Just want to make sure I got enough to coat that all. I got a few chips, or I'd probably put some more in there, but that's really about all I need. So I got my handy dandy spatula. Whoops, yeah, that was good. It was hot. So what's really cool is if you take just the extra second to put them on the chips, you get like this tremendous, not all over the plate kind of stuff. I'm being way too generous here. Yes, if I were smart, I'd be waiting for it to cool down a little bit. Went to a restaurant one time and they did it this way, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. It's a much better way to do it. Except for the poor guy in the kitchen that sits there and does this all day long. Especially like at happy hour. I spent a day as a oyster shucker. Busy Friday night. Let me tell you, that'll wear you out. I love the cumin, I really do. I mean, I think the cayenne pepper's necessary. I think cumin is just lovely. Alright, now I got my little chippies. So what are we going to do with them? Well, so what I want to do is I got myself some grated cheese, and I'm going to try and make it so that it kind of on top, but a little extra falling off the sides is okay for the cheese, because we all like to pick the melted cheese up. It's like the cheese that sticks in the bottom of the pizza box when you get a pizza. You don't care if it rips up the cardboard, and you eat the cardboard too, it tastes so good. I like the heavier kind of grated cheese because it's going to, it doesn't disappear, you know, when you get that really fine grated. Sometimes it just disappears on you. Alright. So I know I've said this 100 times, but microwaves have more than one setting. So I don't want to blow these things up all over the place. So I'm going to do a medium high. It really depends on your microwave. And this really should take 30 to 40 seconds depending on your microwave. So let's see what happens. Don't stare at the microwave, right? It's really bad for your eyes. So I got these special radiation proof glasses. Okay. It's all looking good. Smells good too. And the beans and the meat are going to be hot enough that even if the cheese hasn't completely melted by the time you get it out of there, it's all going to look melted. Oh yeah, looking perfect now. Looking like I actually did a good job. So you can always add too much time and then stop it in the middle. That's what I'm going to do. Take a look. So what do you do? What do you do with them now? Because, you know, you could eat them just like this, but I can't. So what I like to do, first of all, we're going to get some jalapenos. I got some nice pickled jalapenos. I think with nachos, you got to use the pickled ones. And if you like them, you put a lot on. If you don't like them, put a little on just for decoration. This makes it fun. I like pretty. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of sour cream. And if you don't like sour cream, you don't do this. Or if you just want to have it, if you're sharing with somebody and they like sour cream, you just put a little bowl or put the tub next to them. I don't care. First one I got a little crazy on the sour cream, but I'll eat that, don't worry. He's got a little lovely. Alright, so all important. Got some onion here that I chopped up fine. Just going to kind of stick in the sour cream there because I like the crunch of onion. You notice I cook a lot of it. This doesn't have to be fancy. You know, if you're going to do something a little fancier, you could use green onion, chives, just something. These are like my favorite, like loaded up when you're really hungry, watching TV kind of nachos. Oh. And I always suggest, got a little salsa. My nachos are too big. We'll fix that. A little bit of guacamole. Oop. As I pushed it over the edge. So isn't that cool? It's easy, tastes great, and it's a fun thing to do. This is a great thing to eat all by yourself or share. You can make it as big or as small as you want. I just wanted to kind of give you an example how to do it. And like I said, please subscribe, comment, ring the notification bell, and try stuff like this out. Just have some fun. Get away from the usual humdrum stuff and have a good time. So, go cook something fun in your kitchen and have a good time. I'll see you later.